Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel and my kitchen. Today, we're making black kale soup together. For this recipe, I'm using 2 bunches of black kale. And I've prepped it, all prepped and ready. Now I'm starting to chop my kale. The secret to this soup, to black kale soup, is that the kale needs to be chopped very, very finely, folks. All right. Let's get this kale chopped up nice and thin. We're boiling half a pot of water. Into the boiling water, I'm adding my kale. If you prefer, you can also make this soup by pre-boiling the black kale. I actually make it both ways. Sometimes I pre-boil it, and sometimes I don't. Today, I'm going to make it without pre-boiling. We'll be adding more liquid later. For now, we'll just cook the kale in a little bit of water until it starts to soften up. This way, it'll be even better. Here I have a bowl of pinto beans that I previously froze. Pinto beans really complement this soup beautifully. You can add them pre-boiled. Feel free to use any beans you like. Corn, I'm adding 1 cup of corn. This is also from my stash that I froze last summer. I have some leftover corn kernels. You might be wondering if canned corn works. Yes, market corn works great. All kinds of corn work. It adds flavor and color, so it's perfect. We'll let this cook until our kale is nice and tender, since the corn and beans are already cooked. I'm simmering this on a controlled boil for about 20 minutes. While our soup is simmering, I've peeled and prepped 2 onions. I'm dicing them up for sautéing. Chop, 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 chop. Now I'm adding them to the pan. On top of that, I have about a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I'm adding all of it in. And of course, our essential rendered fat. I'm adding about 4 or 5 pieces of rendered fat, and I'm going to sauté the onions until they're beautifully golden brown. Our onions have beautifully turned golden brown. I'm adding about a teaspoon of red pepper flakes to the pan, and a teaspoon of paprika. After a quick stir, I'm turning off the heat. Let's check on our kale. Remember, we didn't cook it in a lot of water initially. Now we're going to add the rest of the liquid. But make sure you use boiling water. I've added the water. I'll just check it. I'll add more water if needed. I've adjusted the consistency exactly to my liking. See, this consistency is just right. It'll be great. Okay, I'm bringing it back to a boil. Into a large bowl, I'm adding about 4 or 5 tablespoons of cornmeal. Cornmeal is a must. I'll add 1 more tablespoon. So that's 5 tablespoons of cornmeal. And we have 1 cup of water. I'm whisking this up nicely. We want to get it to a pancake batter consistency. This way, it'll be easier to incorporate into the soup. It won't clump up. In total, I've added 1 cup of water using a 200 milliliter measuring cup. Now I'm pouring this into my soup. Pour and stir at the same time. The camera is a bit close, so I can't quite get it perfect. But if you do it this way, the cornmeal won't clump up either. I wanted to show an easy method for those trying this for the first time. I'm letting the soup simmer with the cornmeal for another 5 minutes. Now I want to add the salt to my soup. I'm adding about a teaspoon of salt. You can adjust the salt to your taste, of course. Now it's time to bring our soup together with the sauce. I'm pouring the delicious sauce all over my soup. Look at our fragrant black kale soup. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to hear your comments.